string, but we're going to build scalar ideas that are usable in multiple octaves as well. So we need to say, if you remember the last lesson, and please make sure you did watch the last lesson, because we had the G octaves, and then we had the fifth string octaves as well. We want to be able to see those Gs to set up the visualization of our fretboard, okay? So again, oftentimes when we learn our scales, we learn how to play this kind of idea, which is great. I know those too, okay? But we're looking for a shortcut. We're looking for a different perspective on seeing these so we can access the information right away and we can use it in our playing, okay? When we're soloing or when we're writing or riffing over, comping over a chord or whatever it might be. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first 6 notes of this scale, just those, and you can pick them, you can hammer them. Technically, again, do what is best for you. What I'm more concerned with is the visualization of your fretboard at this point. So you're taking these 2 spread fingerings, and then you're going to the next G and playing exactly the same thing, and then you're going to the next G and playing the same thing. So you wind up with this visualization. Okay, whatever you want to do with this. Again, if you look at it, you've got your G, and then here, your pinky would be your B, and then here would be your D. So there's your root, third, and fifth. So you can already see the chord tones. And then these other 3 would be the non-chord tones. So it's really nice because as you visualize this, you can make some really nice melodies by just visualizing root, third, fifth, and then your 2, 4, 6 and be sitting over here. And you can go back and forth between those. However you like. Okay, in all of these octaves. So you can either burn up these positions by doing hammer-ons or pull-ups or picking or whatever you like. Okay, make something kind of cool, right? Whatever you might like, or you can just break it down and make whatever you want. Melodies that way, okay? So we're going to add on one more note. We're going to add on the 7th, and we're going to do that by doing the similar thing that we did last time. We're going to use it as a positional shift. So we're going to use that note to slide us. And that last one will actually, if we think about it, when we do that 7th slide, we're only a half step away from the next root. Sorry. Okay, so that's fine. Again, it's a little twist on what we're seeing, but that works great, especially up on the top side. See? So there's lots of really cool ways that you can do that. So this is a great way of being able to approach your fretboard, being able to see all 7 of those notes, being able to see them laid out, but it's not all these multiple shapes moving across this way. It's one uniform shape that's moving up the guitar. Now, in order to make that work for us, we need to also learn this in the 5th string position, which is a little bit different, okay? So we got our octaves of G. So we have our first one, which looks great. So again, here's the 6th, the prime 6. And we've got a root, third, fifth. To do whatever we want with, okay? But then we got to find the octave of that. Now the octave is a little bit off center because we can play the same spread fingerings, but because of the tuning, we got to move up a half step on the 2nd string. So it makes it a little bit harder to play. But it's sitting right there, okay? And again, I can see my root, my 3rd, but then my 5th is going to be right there. going back into the idea that I did in the prior lesson. The cool thing about this is that whenever you're building these, right below you is the arpeggio that we talked about, the triad that we talked about in the last lesson. So you get this cool little double package of these two pieces together. See that? See how cool that is? So if I was here, I have the new thing and the old thing, which we developed into. So they're all sitting right there. If I move it up an octave, here's the old one. See how they connect together? It's really, really fun. That's a tactic that a lot of guitar players, including myself, use to be able to make really cool, quick little ideas right away, as opposed to going, okay, I have, 3 seconds to make something up, or I need something cool over the top of this little chord thing right here. And I don't want to always go back to, big mountain and start here and then try and, because I don't have time for all that, okay? I just need something quick and I need something efficient over whatever it is I'm soloing over. So if I'm playing over a D, C, G, chord, or whatever it might be, and this D chord comes up, and I think, okay, well, where do I have a D? Well, I got D here, so I've got, or I've got D sitting right here. I can do stuff there, or whatever, right? I mean, I could go up an octave, go up to D, up here, okay? C chord comes up. 5th string, I can see it off the 5th string, or I can see it off the 6th string. G chord comes up, see it off the 6th string, see it off the 5th string, whatever it is I want. But you can see how you can grab ideas very, very, very quickly. So let's say I was making something where I'm playing, we'll just use D as our example. So I've got D sitting here. Okay, and then C comes up. Well, then C, I'm going to move down here. And then G comes up. Well, I got to find a G, so I'm going to come over to this thing, and I'm going to play. You see how I did that? So the D, I built off these 5th string, and I did the triad, and I built something. C, I went over to this guy, did the triad off there. G, instead of doing the triad, I went to the 6th note, this one, and built something off of that G. And there's just literally a million things you could do with this. So hopefully that helps you a little bit in, again, expanding your brain and the way that you're seeing things to come up with something really creative. Now, like I always tell you, it's really important that you don't look at all this stuff and go, well, I got to learn how to do it all absolutely perfect. Because oftentimes when you come across with that thought process, that's when you fail. Find something that is usable and transferable across your fretboard. You might find 7 things, that's great, but find one thing. Find one idea that you can really utilize in your playing, and then maybe find 2 and 3 and so on. But start with something that is really useful to you, even if it's just something off the original arpeggio or something off that 6-note idea. Just being able to see something quickly. Maybe you don't worry about 5th string right now. You just focus on 6th string. That's okay. Or maybe just the opposite. You do more 5th string stuff, so you focus more on that. Don't feel bad about it. The goal is to find something that works for you.